The deepest secret is that life is not a process of discovery, but a process of creation. Conversation with God, Book 1 by Neil Donald Walsh.
Good evening, everyone. Usually I say good morning, but today good evening. Because at the end of the day, I want to share with you my first experience with the painting the doll. So yesterday I started. My was first experience with touching paints. I was looking. I make myself more familiar with the paints tools because I never did it before. I even didn't have in the hands those kind of paints, and airbrush I never have. So was weird experience. It was difficult. And today is second day. So let's start from beginning. How I make about how I made decision about paints. So I collected 2 days. I collected information. That's what I do always when I start something new, absolutely new, which I not familiar. I have no information, just blank knowledge. That's with first step what I do. I look online. I do research how other masters work with it, how they do it. And I looked in different fields, in different kind of artists. This is something I learned from beginning of creation dolls. When I first time had the call to create doll, I was not familiar with it. It's something was radical new. And I remember when Soul showed me my purpose of creating dolls, I remember the first question I have in my head, where to start, what to do. And that whisper inside said, just look online, what's going on in the world. And that's what I did, because I was sitting in front of computer. So that's first step we can do all in any field. What doesn't matter what kind of artist or you not. Actually, in all essence, in all being, we are all creators, because we came from creator. So in any field of life, first step we can do, it's just check online, is it there something or not, or it's radically new or not. So that's what I do always, is something normal for me now. First I look what's going on online. And before I looked online, I already knew what I want to achieve with doll painting. My doll is made from two materials. Is from polymer clay, the best quality Kernet clay I use, and head and hands is made from silicone, prosthetic silicone. And intuitively I wanted, this is my intentions, from which come from within, that's knowing what I want.
By using your intuition, you will be guided and tested to see if you can perform and complete a project without your logical mind knowing the steps that are coming next. It will always all work out according to your intentions. Teachings from Pleiadian by Barbara Marciniak.
I wanted that permanent result ending, you know, when you paint the doll, and after 10 years or 15 years or 2 years for some artists, you can't clean the paints, you know. I saw few artists or people's experiences in forums when they just paints after 3 years, 4 years fade away or peels away because dolls are covered with varnishes to achieve skin texture, something. And for me, it's just not resonate. And that's what first and most important. I want that the final result to be permanent forever. That's what I wanted. And the second thing was that I wanted to create that skin texture. My dolls already is with skin texture, which I make before baking it. Before I put in oven, they are already with skin texture. But I wanted to achieve the color of skin, which is, you know, when you look to skin and you see some few layers within that skin, like we see veins, but when you look to skin, that warmth come out, that liveness is in that skin, you know. It's not flat, it's not hulky, it's that to achieve that realism. But you know, it's not necessary to be absolutely realistic, you know, to get that aliveness. I don't know, it's difficult to explain because it's that intention is on the feeling level, you know. Sometimes I feel intentions very abstract and it's very difficult to put in words, but I exactly know what it feels like when I look to skin, when I touch something. This is what it's difficult to explain. I don't know how.
Through feelings, you can climb the ladder to the multidimensional self. Through feelings, you can tell if something is going on or not. Feeling is your knowing, intuitive, psychic self. Bringers of the Dawn, Pleiadian Teachings by Barbara Marciniak.
But anyway, I work with pale skin. My dolls sculpted already with base undertone skin. Base undertone is like you press skin like this and you see that color light. This is the base. So I sculpted already. I did many experiments with the clay, you know, to mix different, to find that recipe of color of pale warm undertone. So my dolls will be pale skin. And I found online a girl with a skin very close to my vision, which I want to achieve, to see something to compare with when I do painting. Because, you know, when you start from blank and without knowledge, experiences, it's very difficult to do from the mind, from the self. You need to look to something to get familiar, to try, you know, to experience. And then later on, when I get familiar with the colors, I make my own way. I already started to do so. And to get that permanent result with the painting, I thought, what kind of paints I need to use? And most dolls, which what I found on the market is most dolls are made of resin or 3D printed. There is polymer clay, silicone, vinyl dolls, but ball jointed dolls most is from resin, and people use pastels to paint them, most popular pastels. But with pastels, as I said, it's not permanent result. You can clean it with alcohol, or it can be peeled away. So it's I when I try to figure out something, I use my intuition combined with logic thinking, you know. That's what I thought, okay. To reach that permanent, it's very good Genesis heat set paints, because when you heat them, they will be forever. And this information resonated with me, because it was very close to my vision. And how do I know that this information which I look online, it's for me or not, you know? Usually everything, any kind of information I look online, I filter it through the feelings. What I hear, what I see, half of my attention is inside me. That's how I connect with the soul, with my inner guides. I did video before of how to connect with the soul. That's what I do, my practice. This is something normal for me. And that information which I hear, supposed to, if it's for me, in some way it's supposed to resonate. It feels like right, you know. I have in my intention somewhere there inside, and from information which come supposed to be very close to my vision, you know, which I see final result. I know how it feels like. Maybe I'm not always know how it looks like, but how it feels, I always know it. Just it's my compass, you know.
Feelings is the language of the soul. If you want to know what's true for you about something, look to how you are feeling about it. Yet hidden in your deepest feelings is your highest truth. Conversation with God, Book 1.
And so I saw that pastels, you know, painting, and it's something weird for me. It's not like it's absolutely, pastels is not resonate with me. I even today tried to pastels, and it's easy to work. You can do blushing in different pastels, is a lot of different colors. You know, it's blending is easy. It's faster, much faster. But somehow it not resonate with me. That's it, because of that intention of permanent result. I want my doll be people who gets that doll. I don't want that they after 3 years call me and say, you know, my color fade out, what to do. You know? And another thing why I want permanent, because on that on top would be possible to do coloring or blushing with pastels. If I want to change something, add it, for example, tattoos or freckles, how they call those, you know, on the face. Those are that I can add it later. And with these paints which I now use, I decided to use Genesis heat set paints, which resonated very much, and they feel inside that is right decision. And when I saw people how they use that Genesis paint, I felt inside that excitement, because I imagined in my head that how would be with my doll, you know. They use Genesis painting on reborn dolls, vinyl dolls, on silicone. On silicone they don't use. They use only on vinyl. Vinyl dolls, I don't know how to spell it. And I thought how it would be with my polymer clay dolls. And it resonated with me very, it's like I connected the dots, because my doll is bake doll, And then Genesis is supposed to be baked as well. And my polymer clay and Genesis paints, temperature is the same. 130 Celsius is exactly the same temperature which I use to bake my dolls. You know, you see, dots connecting, and they feel excitement, you know.
The highest thought is always that thought which contains joy. Conversation with God, Book 1, Neil Donald Walsh.
And so, another thing I needed to decide was tools to use. People who use Genesis, they usually use sponges. I show you sponges like this, yeah, sponges. And they do tapping, which is as well resonate with me. I like it. I thought that it's easy to work, more control on it, on what you do. But other artists, for example, artists who paint silicone, they use mostly gun spray. This one. This is not a professional spray, but many years ago I bought it in cardboard, used one. Somehow I felt I needed. I didn't know for what, but I needed. Sometimes happens for me things when, you know, soul or guides guide you even when you are not conscious. So I felt that I need it. I don't know for what, I don't know. I never use it, but I bought it. And now I use it after I bought it 6 years ago. And now I use it. So I needed to, yesterday when I started, I need to learn how to use that spray gun, what kind of sponges I need, how to use them. It's supposed to be latex free. Yeah, I learned it. So I ran to the shops to find latex free sponges. So that Genesis paints resonated with me very well. And I decided to use it. But another thing which I wanted to figure out, I wanted to find medium which I can use on both on polymer clay and on silicone. That would be super, you know, one kind of paint and for all doll. And they found that I can use alcohol activated paints. I don't know, is it oil paints or not, but I know that they are alcohol activated. And they can use it on silicone and on the polymer clay. But I didn't accept this paint because masters who do paint silicone, they said that alcohol paints is not so permanent like to use, for example, on silicone pigments, silicone paints. So that's straight away my red light. It peels away. It's not if it's my intention. So and on the polymer clay alcohol, I need to seal that somehow to make it permanent. You know, this is too many. So I decided to use those Genesis paints on polymer clay and silicone paints for silicone head. But I was very curious. I was like a child, you know, to have new toys and try to figure out how it works. And I spent half of the day, because process is long. Every single layer you need to dry out before you put second one. And you know, I did 7 layers. Another one thing that is very important I figured out online. Everyone speak like one. Supposed to be transparent colors. I need to work with very transparent and put layers, you know, to build what I need. And they did so, and they looked at that doll. I can't see nothing. You know, I put layer by layer, nothing. Where's those layers? Where's those paints? So I did 6 layers, and then I baked it and took out, and I see nothing, no paints. And then I figure out what's going on, you know. It means that I need to bake that color after sometimes 1 second, sometimes 2 layers. I spray 1 layer and then bake it, and then 2nd layer or dry it, and then 3rd layer, dry it, and then bake. It's long process. But I'm happy with some things which I already achieved. I'll show you. What I wanted to check, is it really permanent, you know? Can I clean it with alcohol? Because many artists, I figure out what they are not happy about. They clean with alcohol and they peel colors. They use alcohol to renovate the dolls. So, and they clean it, and they clean many times, and the surface was exactly how I painted. It's impossible to clean. Nothing goes out, nothing. So today my results was much better than yesterday. I still not familiar. What I am happy about, what I achieve, is that when it's pale porcelain skin, you know that when you look to pale people, they under skin, they have that bluishness, that not veins that can you see, but there's areas on neck ways on my skin, for example, like my yellowish skin, it's bluish areas on hands, you know, on waist skin thinner, there's that bluish, you can see that blue shade, very pale blue shade. But on pale body, it's a lot, you know, it's like porcelain transparent little bit. It seems like skin very thin, and you can see that bluishness. That which I managed to achieve. So this is blank one, which is just from the oven, just sculpted. And this one is my first achievement of base layers, which I'm quite happy on pale skin. And there is 7 layers on this one. And as you can see, there is no blushing on it much. On last layer I did a little bit on bones, belly, there a little bit, but I need more details and depth. But I'm quite happy with what I have. It's very delicate, and if you can see little bit veins, see bluish zones, patches. I am happy. This sculpt is experiment, is not perfect. The final doll is looks little bit sculpt different, little bit better quality. This is one I left for experiments. And this one, and this is only 3 layers, base layers of bluish. You see, it looks all overall have blue shade, and they make little bit of veins. You see veins all over this nice area. Here you see veins, there you see veins, here, there. And tomorrow I do top skin layer. This is
top skin as well. But you know, it's two different experiments, because with this one I started from blue shade, because I thought my base color is quite close to top skin. I thought I don't need to do base of pale blushing or something, because I already achieved it with my polymer clay. So I started straight away from blue. This one was made with blush, base blush, peach color something, and then after 2 layers of peach blush I did blue, and then after blue I put on the top skin. And I think that same result I can achieve without base blushing. Base wash, blushing will be later, I don't know that terminology. You see, but I am quite happy with what I do, and I have legs a little bit. Legs amazing. You see veins on the skin even. On legs you can see better. See veins. It's very, very delicate. And this legs is, I'm not happy very much with them, because it's too red for me, to pink, you know, like baby pink. I don't need this one. And it don't look like porcelain transparent. It is transparency, but I don't know, something. Maybe when I added the blushing will be better. I get more depth and I can use it. We will see.
I figure out how to achieve the bluishness behind the skin, on the skin. This is my achievement in 2 days. Now I know how to do it. The transparency I know, I learned it. But where I am struggling now, I'm struggling to do blushing. I mean those chin, you know, elbows, those details. Because with spray, I can't achieve it. Because this spray gun is good for general body wash, you know. I call body wash with layers. That when I want to do details like bones, you know, blushing, those everything, it's impossible to do. So I try to do with sponges, with brushes, to tap with brushes anyway. It's technical issues. And they can't achieve. So anyway, I'm happy with first layers, base layers. And this is my achievements. I don't know. It's just body. What to do with the head? Head is so important. It's silicone. Again, different method. But I bought paints. I have everything I need. Just as experience. I have doll made. I baked. I have all the body parts, full body. It's a good one which is waiting for painting, but I can't do it until I will be familiar with painting, with using colors, tools, everything. Then I can start to do that doll. And it takes so long time. Dry, bake, I need to wait until it cools down, then again layer, again dry, again bake. So long. I can't imagine one doll to paint. It takes 2-3 days about. And this is without the head even. I don't know. But anyway, I'm warrior. I will figure out. I figure out how to sculpt the doll. I started from zero, from nothing, no atom. I didn't understand no anatomy, nothing, body part, nothing. But I did somehow. So I will do with this one. I know what I want to achieve. And as soon as I feel that is it same feeling which I feel in my intention, I will stop. This is my feelings is very important. It's compass. Sometimes artists say, oh, you never know when it's finished. All the time is something to fix, to do on painting, on pictures, or on sculpting, any kind of artist. It's always something to do. But they are not right. This is unconscious artists' language, speech. Because when you work with the soul, you know exactly when it's time to stop, because of that feeling. That perfection is a feeling. And perfection is not something general. It's your perfection. It's my perfection. That's why I have intention. I know what I want to achieve. And I know how it feels like, because I imagined in my mind it's already done. Just I need to figure out it. And as soon as I feel that the same feeling in my work, physical work, same feeling like in my imagination, I will stop. And I know that it's okay. Sometimes it's okay to stop if it feels imperfect. Once, I can tell you one thing. This is from my communication with guides. Once I try to achieve that perfection. Sometimes perfection can be trap, You try, do that, go round like a mouse in a cycle, and you can't figure out when to stop. Once I looked to my doll and said, this is not perfect, Still, it's not exactly, like it feels like I want it to feel, but in practice, in physicality, is not perfect. For example, like some marks on the skin, or human bodies asymmetric all around, all over. One eye bigger and a smaller, lip there, you know what I mean. And they looked at, I found some marks on the skin, I said, it's not perfect, And my guide said, we don't call it this way. We would say it's unique. I said, what? They changed my perspective to perfection, my own perfection. Unique. And they looked, it could be, they say, it's uniqueness of your doll, that imperfection you call. So and they figure out that all my dolls will be all unique, not the same. Even if I use molds to do them, but in process of doing, it's always the way of that uniqueness, different marks, different pressures, this is technological thing. And my guide said, don't worry about it. It's uniqueness of the art. People will see that it's handmade, And then I settled. Oh, okay. I changed perspective. And now, before I thought that my perfection is asymmetric, smooth, nice, And then I wondering, wait a minute, this is factory made stuff, when it's perfect, symmetric, no marks, is polished, nice. I'm not factor, I am a human being. I feel it out. I made it with the hands. I sculpt them. Even molds is made by me. I press it with hands. I mix the clay with. It's handmade thing. You can't do every single doll exactly the same. It's impossible. And somewhere in the books I read once that God created billions of things, yeah, you know what I mean. But there is no one thing the same. If they in appearance look the same, inside thinking, feelings is different. They look exactly the same, but the feelings, intentions, they have different. That's their uniqueness. See? You know what I mean. I'm happy to share it because last 2 days I worked and I start speak with myself, you know, I speak with myself how I share with you, and they figure out, okay, I need to press the button and take it out, everything. So tomorrow will be my 3rd day, but still I hesitate to paint that final doll. If you learned something, please like, share it, because it's important. When I looked back for searching information about how to do dolls, there was not many information. People don't want to share what they do. Or this is very important. They think that if you share, people will copy, you know, take your style, la la la. I don't say that you need to share everything, you know, but those general things we can't share. And what I shared in this video, I shared not only how I do, but my logical and intuitive thinking. So you can learn from this video a lot. That's it. Then see you next time. I don't know how long it takes to paint a doll, but I feel excited. I really feel excitement. And in my mind, I already see finished doll. Only thing I do is carry on, don't give up, and achieve that final image in my heart and mind. Okay? God bless you. See you next time. I hope you got something useful from this video. Bye.
All of you must have a clear intention as to how you would like your reality to be designed. This doesn't mean that you are not flexible. It means that you operate with clarity. You say, to my guides and all of those who are assisting me in my evolutionary journey on Earth, it is my intention that I be successful. It is my intention that I be always safe in all things that I do. It is my intention that I receive love and I give love in all things that I do. It is my intention that I have a good time and that I be provided for with prosperity according to my needs. It is my intention that I not become overly enamored of the material world.